We got a special guest in the building right now, my man Marshall Regg. What's up, Marshall? How you
what's
feeling,
up,
man?
What's happening? I'm feeling good, man. Thank y'all for having me down here on the morning show. It's big honor. Big honor.
Man, big honor to have you here. You've been on these big stages around the country, man. Around the country, Marshall.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been like a blur, man. The last 3 years I've been on tour. I've been touring with Dave Chappelle for the last 3 years. And even and in between that, got to do that damn Michael Chase show on HBO Max. Got to do Flatbush Misdemeanors. I was in the first episode, open and close with me on Showtime. It's been doing that, and then just traveling and telling these jokes on this arena tour.
Now you've been Regg. You guys know each other forever, right?
Yeah.
How did you guys meet, Regg? You and Marshall?
Oh man, you tell the story.
Oh man.
How did you and Marshall meet?
Well, you know, Regg done had his hands in the entertainment game for a lot of years. You know what I'm saying? And he got the opportunity to start booking comedy shows. So he was booking comedy shows, and I had just graduated college. But I knew him because I was getting my hair cut at his brother's barbershop for a lot of years before that. But then we really got to know each other when I told him I wanted to be on a comedy show. He put me on one of my first comedy shows I've ever done. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Mike Epps, AJ Johnson, who played Ezell from Friday, rest in peace, and Chocolate. Yeah. She was I think she do gospel comedy now. Right. And it was them and
Rashid.
Rashid was on? No, Rashid wasn't on.
He wasn't on that one?
No, that was Mike Epps, AJ, and Chocolate.
Yeah.
So now I don't know no jokes he said or nothing. I just know when he was on stage, people was going crazy. And then my sister told me like that first person was funny.
And it was Marshall.
It was Marshall.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
That's how it started. Yeah.
Let's go back to the haircut. How long did the haircut last? Because my brother can talk. What, Marshall, tell me.
The haircut was a few days. That was a few days. Yo, it's funny. Regg used to be in the barbershop. Regg wasn't cutting no hair. Now he had his own chair in the barbershop.
Regg, you never told me that.
Yeah, he didn't cut nobody hair. He just chilled in the chair and talked. You know what I'm saying? That's how he go in the barbershop. Regg be chilling. Like he was a barber, but he just had his own chair.
Tell me that, Regg. You had your own chair?
Yeah.
No, I was there. My brother's barbershop was the hangout.
Right.
I would go there and just hang out at the shop.
That's crazy, man.
You know, it's the funny thing, right? Well, after that show, I was like, yo, okay, about to blow.
Right.
Went and did another show in Springfield.
Oh, man.
Went and did another show in Springfield, and I'm like, okay, we videotaped this one. I'm like, yeah. He went up there, boy.
Woo! That was one of the growing pains from comedy right there, boy.
You flopped?
Yo, let me tell you, it was, and it's people think getting booed is bad, but this crowd just didn't make no noise the whole time. They just didn't. You didn't hear key jingling. You didn't hear nothing. You didn't hear nobody suck their teeth. It was just quiet the whole time. That was like probably my third time on stage.
It was crazy. So now I went to Marshall House, right? I was like, yo, let's watch the tape from the show. He's like, no,
you don't want to watch it.
I was like, come on, yo, let's watch it. Come on, yo. I talked him into watching it. We watched it. About 30 seconds in, he did a punchline. I was like, oh, no, turn that
around. Said, okay, we don't need to watch this. I told you we don't need to watch this. We don't need to revisit that. I ain't even want to talk about it again.
So you've been doing it for a while, man. When did it start to turn around for you, boss? And you started getting that recognition and people started noticing you?
Probably like about like 3 years in was the first time I left the country to perform. You know what I mean? That was a big deal for me because I hadn't been on any shows, anything like that. Came back from doing that. The next year I got on Comic View, and that's when things kind of started picking up. Like, so I started traveling, and I started traveling more around the country doing comedy. I got 6 more states to go, and I'll be done performed in all 50 of them.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
crazy.
But yeah, about 4 years in, after I did Comic View, that's when things started picking up and rolling.
Born and raised in Hartford.
Born and raised in Hartford.
So it can be done. A lot of people say, how can I get out of here? It can be done, but it takes what?
It takes hard work, determination, perseverance, consistency, all of those things. But you can definitely accomplish your dreams. You know what I mean?
All right, so now you go from, like, it's tough just talking to him like I don't know all of this stuff. But, all right, so now you go doing the shows in New York City, because you moved to New York City for a time.
Yeah, I did.
Lived in New York, and so you had to get on that circuit. where you're doing all of the shows.
Yeah.
Now you do that. When did that turn come for you in New York to go from doing the little clubs out there to doing bigger arenas and stadiums?
Well, the arenas and stadiums came probably like about 3 years ago when I got on tour with Dave, and but as far as like before that, for about 8 years before that, I toured with Donnell Rawlins, and that's how I actually ended up meeting Dave. But that started like around 2015. I went on the road with Donnell. We was eating lunch. And he was just like, "Yo, son, go on my calendar and get on whatever shows you want to be on." So from there, I'm like, "Dang!" I went on this calendar and we just started going all over the country. And I had already been traveling, but this was like another level up, going with Donnell, you know what I mean? Because, he done been on everything. Everybody know who he is. So I jumped on the road with him, and that's when I really started seeing a change. Before that, I still was traveling a lot, but it's just that added a level of celebrity to what I was doing.
Did you see that you had to make any changes within yourself going to a different level of comedy, far as the jokes you say, how you deliver them?
Well, I mean, only thing probably like when going into the bigger crowds, like we did the Hall of Fame Stadium. You know what I'm saying? That's a football stadium. It was probably about 14,000 people there, and now you really out, like you really can hear the echo in your voice, like when you go to a football game and stuff like that. And with the arenas, playing bigger arenas, it's a different little pace that you talk with. But as far as the jokes that I'm telling, those I didn't really have to change the type of jokes I tell, because from the beginning I always try to write jokes. It's just funny for everybody, no matter what color you are, where you from. I'm talking about things we all can relate to. So
right. How do you deal with? I mean, you're on the stage and everything. You're a real person. People sometimes see the people on stage. They don't think they go through real life situations. You had a big setback.
Yeah.
And mental health. How do you prepare yourself to keep moving after you went through what you went through? Because it's something that you never want to see anybody go through, and you have to pick yourself up and keep going. How do you maintain that mental health to do that?
It's just choices that we make. You know what I mean? Because you come across things, and if you look at everybody's life, everybody go through something that's real tough, and that kind of make you, the way you don't know if you could go on. But it's like you really only got two choices. You could crumble up, or you could keep moving forward. And my focus went to the people that's still here, that's still alive, that I got dependent on me. You know what I mean? And I do it for them.
Now, when you lost that person, did you feel as though I can't do it anymore? Was it like another battery in your back? Said I got to do it for her.
I didn't know, and we talking about my daughter. I lost my daughter 7 years ago. She would have been 8. You know what I mean? When that happened, I probably didn't do comedy for like a month, and I didn't know if I was gonna ever do it again.
Wow.
And my friend Rob Stipton, he had a wedding. And we was all slated, me, him, JB Smooth, a couple, Tony Rock, we was all slated to do comedy at the wedding. He was like, "Oh, you don't got to perform." And I was like, "No, I'm going to go ahead and perform." And when I did, I realized that as much as the audience plugs into me, I plug into them. So it was like I needed comedy at that time.
Therapy, it was like therapy for you.
Yeah, so it was like the feeling I get from making people laugh and making people feel good. I realized I needed that in my life at that time. So right. that's kind of what helped me keep pushing and going forward.
That's good. Hey, we got Marshall Brenner. He's going to stay on with us for a little while right now. Hartford phone, if you want to talk to him, you can call us up right now, 860-674-9307. You're going to hang out for a little while?
Let's go. Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here the whole week.
I'm going to tell y'all about the female comedian that be bullying him.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little while. It's Hot 937, hot937.com, one of the biggest songs of the year right there. She came in the studio a while ago, before the record took off.
Yeah.
We had no idea the record was going to be as big as it is right now, man.
That's why you got to treat everybody nice. You got to be cool with everybody, because you never know who they're going to be.
Man, we had to get the room temperature water just now from Marshall Brandon.
Hey, things have
changed. He ain't lying. We had to get the room temperature water.
That's right.
Treat him right.
Yeah, that's right.
He's one of those now. He's one of those now, but I don't do no ice cold water.
Don't do that to me.
Room temperature.
Marshall Brandon in the building with us right now, man. On these big stages around the country, man. You been out the country? Can we say when can we say around the world?
Oh no, I've been. I've been over the overseas performing for the troops maybe like 20 times. I've been over to Europe, through all over Germany. Holland and England. But Germany and England was where I was mostly performing for the troops. Holland was just the Dutch people. Just came back from Australia in February. Spent a month out there, Australia and New Zealand. So I'm making my way around the world.
How's the food? How's the food when you go to these different places? Do you just stick to the regular food, or you try different things?
I do try different things, but I keep it simple. Like, I eat the pizza there. See what their pizza like.
You go to Italy, I eat the pizza.
Right. I ain't going to. I'm not trying to. I don't venture out too far. Like, certain people we be with, like the foodies, I guess you could say, we eating alligator and all kind of different frog and all of that.
I'm when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
That's what you say, yeah.
Yeah. What is their food of choice? That's I want to go try it out. I want to see how they live where they at. I'm here. I'm one of y'all for the day.
Reg, who bullies him? A female that bullies him.
Oh man. Yeah. All right. So I ain't gonna say her name.
Why not?
I ain't gonna say her name. It's a female comedian, and she used to perform locally, and she wasn't that good.
And she had a real big crush on Regg. You know what I'm saying? She had a really big crush on Regg, and she was tough. You know what I mean? And
she had like rusty knuckles.
Right.
And so now I would tell her, I'd be like, yo, you can't be on the show. You got to get your weight up. And then I would go and see her with Marshall jacked up in the corner. And Marshall be like, yo, she going next.
Regg ain't telling you about it. And the only reason why she was in my face because she wasn't happy about the romance between her and Regg. Yeah, between her and Regg. You know what I'm saying? And she was pretty tough. She always had her fist balled up when it was tough.
Yeah, she was big, and she would get on stage and just curse people out in the crowd. I'm like, Marshall, she can't be on the next show. He'd be like, you tell her.
Marshall in the corner saying, she next.
Yeah. I ain't want no problems because that love went deep. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was
about. So now, did you think that, everybody has a dream, and when they have the dream, they they want to be the best at what it is they want to do. Did you ever think you would be doing what you're doing at the level you're doing it at now?
I always had the intention to. I always had it's like I always had the goal to, but it's like a dream to do what I'm doing now and to see it on the level that it is. It's surreal to me every time. Sometimes I can't even believe it. It's like I get off the stage and I go look at that. There's 20,000 people in the building, and I see the other comedians performing after me on this big jumbotron. And it's like I almost can't even picture that I was just up there making all these people laugh. It's like to want to do it and then to actually get to do it is like it's crazy, man. So it's like a dream come true, man. It's definitely like that.
A lot of people want to jump to the spotlight right away. They want to jump in front of the camera right away, and they don't know that you can actually make it behind the scenes with that pen. Mm-hmm. You did a lot with that pen.
Oh yeah.
And you got recognition from the pen to get to where you are right now. How important is it for people to realize you don't have to jump in front of the camera right away. You can get there, but there's some people who are super successful behind the camera with just the pen.
Yeah, man. I wrote for 2 television shows on TV1. I wrote for Live Tracks and I wrote for Comedy Knockout. And when we filmed Live Tracks, it was like that was the first time I was really like working on a show. Well, I mean, both of them involve comedians, but this was a show. It was like I kind of wanted to be on the show. You know what I mean? But I was writing for it. I wrote all the intros for the host, and I wrote just some segments and stuff like that. And then I realized as the comedians came and go, we filmed for a week. As the comedians came and went, I was still there. It's like they'd come film that day, and then they gone. And then when it was time for us to go somewhere, I'm in the van with the executives, you know what I mean? All the comedians over here in this van, and I'm riding with the executives and bosses and everything like that. And so I'm like, man, this side of it is nice too.
Not bad.
Yeah, and them checks was lovely. So that's very important with comedy. Is that pen is very important. So.
And it had to feel good getting that recognition. I was at the show in Boston, and Dave Chappelle, he introduced each person who performed. And when he got to Marshall, he said, this is one of the illest joke writers that I've ever met. And I'm like, wow. And then he was like, and he's from Connecticut. His name is Marshall Brandon. I was like, whoa. So to hear that from somebody like Dave Chappelle.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was
I got it on video. I watched it 200 times. I watched it 200 times. He said, my gun is always loaded and full of joy. That's what he said. I was like, man.
Marshall, when that thing happened on that stage, did you kick somebody? Did you? Did you get any kicks in, man?
I did not. I did not get no kicks in.
I thought I saw you in here. Get there and run out.
I was right there. I threw my shoe at him. I couldn't get close to him, so I threw my shoe. I think it hit him too. But yeah, I couldn't get to him. Because they had everything happen so fast. We were standing right there in the back, and it was like, it was all kind of celebrities back there. Elon Musk walked past me. I was like, oh man,
Elon Musk in the building,
right? I'm like, whoa. I'm like, man, and but it was it was like a freak accident that happened so quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely handled that business out there, man. But it was but yeah, everybody was trying to get a piece of that action.
All right, so now November 5th, we got a show at the Hartford Funny Bone with you and Cleon the comedian. This is going to be a huge show. We got some tickets we're going to give away right now.
Let's do it right now. 860-674-9307. You want these tickets? Let's go.
It's Hot 937 and Hot937.com. Buck and Reg in the mornings, 9 o'clock, old school block. We still got comedian Marshall Brandon with us. First off, congratulations to Lakeisha Westerly of Hartford. She got those tickets to check out the Let's Laugh About It comedy show with Marshall and Cleon the comedian.
Congratulations.
Sunday, November 5th at the Hartford Funny Bone. Tickets on sale right now, funnybone.com. Marshall.
Yo.
Now, you doing the big stages.
Yeah.
And it wasn't overnight, but it was a time where you went from doing clubs and then you woke up and it's 15,000 people.
Yeah.
Was that intimidating? Was it like, were you like worried about it?
It was. But I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time watching it. It was intimidating. It definitely was intimidating. Just to go, to go up and know you in front of 20, 25,000 people. You know what I mean? Performing where the Celtics play at, performing for where the Trailblazers play at, and these play, the Indiana Pacers and all these different places where pro teams in Chicago United Center where Michael Jordan played. You know what I mean? The stakes is high. You know what I'm saying? Going from doing a comedy club to doing an arena, the stakes is a lot higher. There's a lot more people and a lot more pressure because you always want to make sure you do your job. So yeah, it was definitely a little bit intimidating, but it's kind of like one of them, when they talk about your growth, coming from being in an uncomfortable situation and stuff like that. So that's where, so it's that. Like, it's a little bit intimidating, but that's where you're supposed to be at. That's where your growth is coming from. So
now, sometimes I feel like people don't see how big of a deal it is what you're doing, because sometimes when you know a person personally or you've been around a person, you can, like, they're taking for granted how big the things you're doing are.
I understand that, bro, because to be real with you, I'm just realizing it. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been doing it, but it's like sometimes you got to take a step back. I take a step back and I look at it and I be like, man, this is crazy. So I understand people not recognizing how big it is, because it's like it's amazing. It's kind of unreal. You know what I mean? So and me, it's just really setting in on me what's going on. So.
Yeah, because Dave Chappelle, he's arguably, he's the biggest comedian in the world right now. And what, top 3 arguably?
Yeah, I put him at number 1. You know what I'm saying?
Over Richard Pryor?
I put him at, he got 8 special. He just finished taping his 8th special. You know what I mean? And I mean, and you got eras of comedians and stuff like that. I like to put comedians in eras, but to me, he the greatest ever do it. You know what I mean? Just from and I wasn't around Richard Pryor like I'm around Dave, but just to see him, see his process, see his work ethic, and how he get down, and the fact that he don't have no writers. You know what I mean? It's just him. Everything he spitting coming out of his brain. I'm like, dude is amazing. You know what I mean?
Now, what type of motivation did you get from being around him, seeing him perform? What did you get from it?
It's like watching a master class. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch the karate movie and you see the dude get hit on the head with the bamboo stick and he go in there and train with the master, with the Shaolin, you know what I mean, the Shaolin monk. It's like that. It's like being around Professor X. You know what I'm saying? So it's in the X-Men, but his legs work. But it's that. So it's like I just seeing somebody who's a master at the craft do what they do. It's like you're gonna gain from that. You know what I mean?
And I noticed whenever you come off the road, you don't just want to relax and kick back. You look to get on stage.
Yeah.
How important is that? Because you're coming from 20,000 people. If you get on stage here, I mean, you probably have a few hundred, maybe 60.
Right. I mean, it's about that work. You got to stay on your job. You know what I mean? I don't come home and just. It's like that stage still call me every day. You know what I mean? No matter where I'm at, no matter how big or how small it is, I need to get that work in. It's like going to the gym. You know what I mean? So I come home. I'm looking to get right back on stage when I come home. Get right back to trying to work these, because sometimes you don't want to get in the arena and just throw this new joke out there. You want to be able to go work on it and go see what it do before you give it to that many people. You know what I mean? So it's like I try to stay on the stage.
All right. So, question I always wanted to know, because you move around a lot, you do a lot of shows, and I'm like, do you still got the restraining order on that bully, the comedian? That was. I know you move around.
Yeah, I let the restraining order off because I be trying to talk her down from hurting you behind y'all love loss.
Last time I spoke to her, she told me that she was getting you because you did a couple of jokes about her.
She told me she said keep my man name out your mouth. That's what she told me. She was talking about you.
Hey, we're gonna get back in the music. We're gonna come back and talk to Marshall Brandon. Some more phone lines are open, 860-674-9307. You want to say what's up to him, congratulate him, or whatever you want. He's here. Hit us up. It's Hot 937.
Hey.
It's Hot 937 and hot937.com. Buck and Reg in the mornings. We still got comedian Marshall Brandon in the building.
Let's go. What's happening?
Yo, so you're doing all these big things. You're on the road with Dave Chappelle. When do you get off the road with him?
End of the year.
End of the year. All right.
We going on into the new year.
How long you home?
I'm home till Wednesday. I fly out Wednesday. We down to North Carolina, going to Raleigh and then to Charlotte, and then from there, Atlanta. I got to go host an award ceremony in Atlanta, and then I'm right back on the road the next day down in Tampa, in Orlando, Atlanta, and then coming out of Christmas, Fort Lauderdale for like 4 days.
Okay. All right. So now you have all these big things you're doing with Dave Chappelle. What's next for Marshall?
What's next for me, man, is I got some projects that I've been working on. I got the Marshall Brandon story that I'm working on.
Okay.
I have 2 scripts that I wrote. One I wrote with another comedian that I'm looking at shopping, and one I'm looking at getting produced and filmed. Shouts out to D244 Media. Shouts out to Jackson Films. You know what I'm saying? Those are 2 companies that are 2 budding companies, young companies that I'm working with, developing some things for. It's that, you know what I mean? My man Dame Drops told me, he said, you always want to figure out what's next, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like I never sit around and just say, oh, this is all I'm doing or something like that. I'm always on to the next thing, trying to figure out what the next move is gonna be. But I got some of them, and I want to do some more acting, man. Being on the road with Dave and everything is great, and being on HBO and Showtime has been great. But bro, I'm on Tubi, you know what I'm talking about? I'm on Tubi. I'm in the stuff. My man Rob Stapleton got a movie out called The Stuff. Dope movie. Well, you ain't arrived till you get on Tubi, you know what I'm saying? So go check me out on Tubi, you know what I mean? I'm on there too.
You know what's crazy? People be making fun of Tubi. Tubi had the best Super Bowl commercial this year.
Yeah.
It was the best commercial.
Yeah.
Tubi went up.
And Tubi is give Tubi a couple years. You ain't gonna be able to get on Tubi. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be able to put your movie on Tubi. You know what I mean? Tubi be just like Netflix in a couple years. But yeah, no, I definitely. But in the movie, it's actually really, really good that I'm in. It's a lot of nice cameos, and Rob really did a great job with it, man. To see a comedian step out and create his own project like that, and it come out like that. So shouts out to Rob. But y'all go check me out on that too, man. It's called The Stuff.
All right, so you're doing big things, man. Marshall Brandon, he's here November 5th. He's going to be at the Hartford Funny Bone along with Cleon the Comedian. I'm going to be hosting it. It's going to be a dope show. Tickets on sale right now at hartfordfunnybone.com. Man, I can't wait for that show, and I think people can't wait for it because they don't get to see you like that. So we do it once a month at Funny Bone, and I promote that he's going to be there, but I know he ain't going to be there because he's going to be out on the road. I don't say nothing. I just be like, yeah, we're going to be there, but I know he's not going to be there. But he will be there November 5th. With Cleon the Comedian. That's going to be a dope show. Shouts out to Lakeisha Weatherly of Hartford. She got the tickets for that. Marshall, I want to thank you for coming through, bro.
Oh, man, thank you for having me. Reg, Buck, man. It's an honor to be down here with y'all, man. Thank you for having me. Y'all hit me on Marshall Brandon Story on Instagram, Marshall Brandon on Facebook, MarshallBrandon.com, MarshallBrandonVibe.com. You know what I mean? I got a new line coming out, Big Bella Clothing. Pictures of Reg and all that stuff, and his love and the love of his life.
That's the bully. You do some rapping too. You got the song Bella's and Knock You Out.
Oh yeah. Ski.
Yeah. She gonna get you when she's in.
Oh man, it's on sight. It's on sight.
All right, listen again. Thanks for coming through, and
man,
it's our honor too, man. You deserve this.
Thank y'all.
You work
so
for it. You
much,
deserve
man.
to be here.
Thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate it.